Hello everybody, my name is Chloe Wilson and I'm one of your 4-H agents here in Limestone County along with Miss Lisa Tao. We will be covering Athens City and Limestone County schools for the 5th and 6th grade students and some of the older kids. You'll be seeing us here once a month, whether it be on a screen or hopefully in person sooner rather than later. So today in 4-H we're going to talk about what is 4-H and how did it get started. But we figured that we'd start with a little bit of history for you first. So 4-H officially started in 1902 and it came to Alabama in 1909. Now when 4-H started, we had clubs for boys and girls, or men and young women. So our young men learned how to grow tomatoes and corn, and they each got 1 acre of land to grow these products. And then they had competitions to see who could grow the most tomatoes or corn within that acre of land. The girls' club started by a sewing club and a canning club where they learned how to preserve the food that the young men had grown throughout the season and put up for their families to eat on all year. Now we've come a very long way in 4-H since 1902, and now we have all different types of clubs. While we do still teach about agriculture and farming, and we do still have sewing clubs, we also teach about STEM. We have kayaking, shooting sports, cooking clubs. We teach you how to raise animals, all different types of things that we're going to learn about today. Now do a math problem with your teacher and tell us, if 4-H started in 1902, how old is it now? So the 4-H symbol is this 4-leaf clover right here. So within this 4-leaf clover, you're going to see 4 H's. What do you think those stand for? Let's take a look. Head, heart, hands, and health. So let's talk about what these 4 H's mean. Now this is our 4-H pledge, and you're going to be seeing it every time we come in. Our president is going to lead us in it. So we're going to talk through this pledge and learn about what these 4 H's mean and why they chose them. So it starts and says, I pledge my head to clearer thinking. Now what does that mean to you? A lot of times we get the answer to focus or to do your homework instead of playing a video game. One example I like to use is if you have a sibling, we've all gotten mad at our siblings before. Maybe we've hit them when we shouldn't have. When we're getting in trouble, we may be thinking, oh, I didn't use my head for clearer thinking. Now, some of you may be saying, no, I did, but we all know we shouldn't be hitting our siblings, okay? So, the next line is, I pledge my heart to greater loyalty. Now, when we use our heart and we love something, then we're loyal to it. Whether it be our animals that we take care of, our friends, our family, we're going to be kind and take care of those people. To me, using your heart is just spreading kindness, whether it be to a friend or not. If you see somebody dropping their pencil, we should be picking it up. We're helping each other. So using our heart is just being nice to each other, taking care of each other. Next is, I pledge my hands to larger service. What do you think that means? So here in 4-H, we are all about community service, and that means giving back to our community. You've probably heard of it before. So you may have heard of people shipping shoe boxes to somewhere overseas for Christmas, or lately you may have had people that you know taking up items to send for the hurricane victims. So all of those are great examples of community service. But we in 4-H are going to be focusing on some local community service projects this year, which we will talk about soon. But if we can't help the people in our community first, then we can't help anyone else. So this is a really important one for us. Last but not least is, I pledge my health to better living. So why is it important that we stay healthy? If we're not healthy, can we do any of these things that we just talked about? Are you using your head for clearer thinking when you're sick? Do you want to go do your math homework when you're laying on your couch sick? Probably not. Are you the nicest person ever when you're sick? Probably not. So we are going to do all of these things we just talked about for our club, which is going to be your classroom. That is your 4-H club. For our community, which we just discussed, is Athens and Limestone County. for our country, and for our world. And if we all do all these things together, then we will make a difference. Talk about local 4-H and what are we going to be doing in your club. So you'll be seeing us once a month in the classroom or on Zoom, and we're going to be bringing you really fun activities. You're going to learn about all different things with 4-H, okay? We never have one thing that we focus on all year. So get excited for hands-on activities where you're going to learn something new each month. Besides that, we have lots of other things that you can get involved in. So outside of school, we have animal projects that you can do. We have a pig project that you can do. We have a pet rabbit project that you can do. And then in the summer, we have tons of other activities, such as baking camps, cooking clubs, STEM activities. We have Connects, if you've ever heard of those. We have a huge Ferris wheel, roller coasters. We have 17 kayaks, and we take students kayaking in the summer. We've talked about starting fishing as well. So there are lots of different opportunities for you to get involved in within 4-H, okay? So inside the classroom, we do need you to fill out this enrollment form that you should have gotten from your teacher, and if you haven't gotten it yet, you will be soon, okay? So all this is doing is registering you for our in-school club. Remember, this is 100% free. You don't pay for anything in school, okay? So we do need these back though, okay guys? So please fill them out and get them back to your teachers, okay? On the back, there are sections for you to fill out of things that you're interested in. Now this is not signing you up for an official club. So don't think that you have to be somewhere at a certain time. This is just telling us your interest. So that way, if I start a sport fishing club, I can send you an email or call your parents and let you know that we're starting the club and you can get involved. Each month, we're going to be offering you different competitions that you can get involved in outside of school. These are really fun projects that you can do in a way to connect with your family and build something new or learn something new. So this year, our projects are going to be the Extreme Birdhouse Competition, a photography competition, the Lego Challenge, a woodworking project called What Would You Build, a sewing challenge, and then the baked foods competition. So you're going to be making cookies, and we're going to see who has the best cookies this year. So we know that you may not want to do every single one of these projects, and that is completely fine. All of these are totally optional, but we do encourage you to get out of your comfort zone and try something new, okay? So this month, we are going to be doing the Extreme Birdhouse. So you're going to build us the coolest, best birdhouse that you can build without buying a birdhouse kit, okay? So there are very few rules for the Extreme Birdhouse competition, but the first one is you cannot go to Walmart and buy a birdhouse kit and put it together, okay? So you are allowed to buy supplies for the kit or for your birdhouse, like popsicle sticks or, you know, the googly eyes, anything like that that you want. You just can't buy a birdhouse kit. It has to be smaller than 18 inches by 18 inches by 18 inches. Now that's a pretty big birdhouse, guys. So if you decide that you're going to build a birdhouse mansion, I would encourage you to make sure that you measure, okay? Because if we have 2 people in the running for first place, and one person's is 16 inches by 16, and the next is 20 inches by 20, who's gonna win? The person that followed the directions, the 16 inches birdhouse, okay? So, it has to be smaller than that, and then you're gonna provide a list of materials and the tools that you used, okay? You can write this on a piece of paper or a little index card and bring it in with your birdhouse. Just write down what you used and if you used any tools for it. And then it says, do the work yourself, be original. Now, what I like to tell people is, if you're gonna be using power tools, obviously yes, have an adult help you. We want you to keep all your fingers. But this means don't go home and tell your little brother, hey, get out in the yard and go build me a birdhouse that I gotta turn in at school tomorrow, okay? We want you to be the creative mastermind of this project. You can build any type of birdhouse you want. We've seen them made out of boots, out of a broken guitar, out of a milk jug, out of a Happy Meal. I had a kid win that made one out of Capri Suns and Nerf gun bullets. So get creative and make whatever type of birdhouse you want. We can't wait to see what you make. So now we are going to announce our community service project of the year. This year we are going to be making thinking of you and thank you cards for people in our community. We're really excited about this. We know that we're going to lift some people's spirits with this, okay? So this month we are going to be making cards for nursing home patients. Now we all know people have not been able to leave the nursing home for 180 plus days now, and they also can't have visitors, so they need us to help cheer them up, okay? So we are going to make some thinking of you cards, draw them a pretty picture, tell them, hope you're doing well, anything like that, okay? We will also, throughout the year, be making cards for our first responders, fire rescue squad, and our police officers, doctors and nurses, the families of the Ronald McDonald House, veterans, and then the Birmingham Children's Hospital patients, okay? So kids in the Children's Hospital. So each month we'll be bringing those cards in, and we want you to make as many cards as you can, okay? Put stickers on them, decorate them however you want to, but we're having a competition between the classes to see who can make the most cards this year. And then it's going to be the duty of our community service officer to keep up with how many cards have been collected each month, and you'll tell us at each meeting, okay? And then also, we will be delivering these throughout our community once we collect them from you. Last but not least, we are going to talk about our officers, one of the most important roles in our club. So we will have 5 officers in your class, and you all will be responsible for helping lead our club, okay? Now this year we will be heavily relying on you to help us, guys, because we don't know when we're going to be able to be back in the classroom. So we need you to make sure that our club is ran in an orderly manner, okay? So we are going to go through this handbook. You'll receive this if you get elected as an officer this year. And we're going to talk about what are your duties and what are the things in here you need to know. So when you get this, please keep up with it, okay? You're going to need it all year. So our president, it will be your duty to call our meeting to order, and you will preside and direct our meeting. And we're going to be using something called the Roberts Rule of Order, which is an official way to lead a club meeting. Now guess what? You don't have to come up with it on your own. We have it all laid out for you right here in your handbook, and it tells you exactly what to say, so you can sound all official, okay? So you're going to encourage the members to take active part and work closely with the other officers, okay? So if somebody has their head down during our project and they're just not feeling it that day, I need you to go over and tap them on the shoulder and help encourage them and get them excited about what we're doing, okay? You need to work closely with the other officers and contact them before our meetings and remind them of their responsibilities. So our president, or for all officers, this is not a popularity contest, okay? We want to have the best person for the job. Who is going to be a wonderful leader for your club? Because 4-H is a youth-led organization. It is about you learning how to be a good leader. We are here to help present, and you are learning how to lead, okay? So next is our vice president. It's your duty to work closely with the president and the other officers. You're going to preside at the meetings when the president is absent. You'll probably get your chance to be president at some point. It normally happens. You need to be familiar with the duties of the president, and then you're going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the 4-H pledge at each of the meetings, okay? Next, we have our secretary. We all know this person. They're a good note taker. So you are going to keep accurate and legible minutes or notes at each of our meetings. Now it's right here in our handbook where you're going to write the day that we had our club meeting, who was the speaker and what was our topic, and then you can write how many people were absent that day in class and how many were present. And you're going to keep up with what projects we have going on each month. Now at each club meeting, you're going to read that back to us. So next month you're going to say, Miss Chloe and Miss Lisa came in September 10th, and we learned about what 4-H is, and our project is the Extreme Birdhouse. So that's all the secretary has to do. Next is our health and safety officer. So it is your responsibility to make our club members aware of the health and safety issues in our everyday lives. You're going to prepare a small report about a health or safety topic and share it with us at each club meeting. Now, this does not have to be an elaborate report. It can be, but it can also be a good paragraph teaching us about something we need to know. It can be a PowerPoint if you want it to be, okay? And then you're going to keep up with your different topics. We're going to ask that you not talk about COVID right now because we're all hearing about it all the time. So teach us about anything else having to do with health or safety. Why should I wear a seatbelt? How can I be safe trick-or-treating? Why do I need to eat fruits and vegetables? How can I stay safe during cold and flu season? Those are just a couple of ideas. Then last but not least is our community service officer. So it is your job to announce the community service project for the month and remind our club to bring in our donations for the month or for our club meeting. This is so important where it says remind the club. I can't tell you how many times I go into class and they say she never or he never reminds us, okay? So if you're very shy, this is not for you. You need to be able to get up in front of the class and tell them what we're doing this month and what we need to bring. And I promise your teacher will be okay with you going and asking, may I make an announcement to remind our class that this is what we need to be doing this month, okay? And then you're going to be keeping up with how many cards you collected each month, and you'll be telling our class how many you have collected each month at our club meetings. So everything that all of you will need is located right here in this handbook, okay? And you'll be getting it once you're elected. And we can't wait to see the great work you do. So regardless of if we see you in the classroom or virtually next month, we have a really fun activity planned for you that you can't eat, and we're not going to spoil it for you, but get excited about it, okay? And we just want to thank you so much for being attentive today to the students and teachers, and we hope you learned a little bit about 4-H and you're excited about our upcoming school year and all the fun things that we're going to do together. Have a great day. Bye.